And we are back. I am joined this time by Miss Cobalt. People saw her in last season's commentary and we're a big fan. We're here for the PlayStation League. Again, split into Group A and Group B as we were last race for the Xbox League. This time just on PlayStation. And they've, again, got their own version of Cobalt Sphere.
How fantastic is it that there's actually enough interest to have a Group A and a Group B, though?
It depends. Some people like a full grid. I would personally prefer to see 12 on one track, but we have split into two groups of, I think, 7 and 8 for this one. Or 7 and 6. Oh, someone's a bit ghosty there. So Dasher Dude is absolutely the one to watch out for this race. Season champion and just a dominant force in the PlayStation League.
And what car is Dasher Dude running in this one?
He's got the brand new Corvette. Oh, good.
Oh, unlucky.
So Dasher's in the new Corvette that came out just as Season 2 started, so no one was able to use it last season. And he's moved on from the S2K.
Interesting. Do you think that'll do him a service or disservice?
I don't know. Too
early to tell?
I don't think there's any, bad car for this driver. He's up there with Joda. He is amazing. And
those hairpin turns are insane.
Yes. This track it takes inspiration from a few tracks like Akina Togue, and that is a very hairpin oriented track. So that section there is known as the Akina section. And here we have Paul, one of the new drivers, is actually leading the race in, is that Kit, Knight Rider?
A little throwback for the fans.
Yeah. Leandra Farrell is way back after that big crash at the start. It's one of our few returning drivers in Group A. Group A is mostly new drivers. It is the easier race of the two groups, whereas Group B is where the high stakes are. But Dasher managed to get put into Group A because he won last season, and apparently that means you get a free win for the first race by being put with new drivers.
Oh.
I mean, it's not really a free win. Here he is trying to earn it. He's not there yet. Big credit to I Am Socks for the design on this track. It is so unbelievably close to Mickey's PC version. I can't believe how accurate he made this track.
And it's such a well done track, start to finish. And to think that someone spent hours on this with a controller in their hands is very impressive.
I'm not sure what Mickey makes his tracks with, whether it's controller or keyboard, but yeah, thinking about it now, the Xbox and PlayStation versions.
I thought he was going to hit the sign there. Knocked some atoms off it, that's for sure.
We got to see that yesterday when Aero put the monster truck into the sign, doing a big stunt. Didn't go well.
Oh, that would have been heartbreaking if it was he racing?
Yes.
Oh, devastating.
Well, he's in the monster truck, so he's trying to race. This Knight Rider is so fast. I didn't actually think it was going to be a competitive car. Unfortunately, one problem I find with PlayStation is the recording systems for PlayStation natively aren't very good, so you don't get as many perspectives for PlayStation League.
Oh, no. Wait, did he save that?
No, that's a lower path.
So he would have had to go back?
No. There is a higher path and a lower path. The lower path is drastically slower and it's faster to reset. So you do generally want to stay on the high path. And try and reset before you hit that lower path. The lower path is fine. It is just drastically slower than the higher one.
Well, at least it wasn't a complete loss.
Yeah, it's not a complete wipeout. It's just a bit of a time loss.
Yeah.
And Dasher has just left Paul behind here. We can't even see him on the mini-map. He's just gone. Gosh,
when did that even happen? 2 seconds ago, they were neck and neck, and now he's just blitzed.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He is... it's pretty safe to say that Dasher is the fastest driver on the PlayStation circuit, but we don't know.
Fast doesn't always get you a win, though.
He had 4 out of 6 5 out of 7 last season, so...
That's a pretty impressive run.
Yeah. He was the favourite through the finale, and didn't even break a sweat in the finale. It really looked like it was just one-sided the whole time. But yeah, now he's got this new car, and it seems to be working just as well for him.
I love watching these drivers take the turns. Like, I can't imagine how they're feeling, because every time I tense up going, oh! And they're just, the drifts on them. Mwah.
Like, you'll see that the top drivers always take the same inside line and just cut it real fine and taking that chance. Is that someone still in the loop? Was that King D still on the loop? Oh my god, that's a fair ways back.
Hey, they're doing their best.
He must have come off at some point because, yeah, that...
I'd still be completing lap 1 if I were involved in this. Like, those hairpin turns, I'm not a fan of braking, so those hairpin turns would have me.
Yeah, I'm just not quite cut out for this sort of level of competition myself. Did the first season and I was like, no, this is too hard. I'll just stick to commentating.
Hey, you know where your skill set lies.
And the 7 a.m. starts weren't fun either. Oh, that was a bit too tight on the corner there, so he lost all his speed putting it all into the wall. 2
bumps and, well, that's all she wrote.
And yeah, once again, Leon has dropped to the bottom track. I wonder if we'll get to see Paul on the cross here. No sign of him there. He's just pulling that distance further and further.
Oh, look at that.
We saw this a lot in Season 2, where Dasher would turn this league into a one-man show. But if he wins this race, yes, he gets his invite to the finale, but it will actually put him in Group B for the rest of the season. So it means that he's not going to have races against new recruits, and we'll have to...
That's good. It'd be pretty daunting being brand new to the league and being against the guy who won.
Yeah, absolutely. It might be something we have to look at for next season if we're still doing the Group A, Group B, or if, crossplay's not out by then. But at the same time, it just feels nice to have some sort of reward for earning that win last season.
True, very true.
I feel that a lot of the new drivers are now seeing what the competition is like and, seeing what the best of the drivers can do. And that is a good opportunity for them to, learn to improve and see what they need to do to make up the distance and the differences. Like, here is a near 30-second difference between first. It is more than 30 seconds between first and sixth. So Dasher Dude gets his finale invite, and 2 new drivers managed to get into the top 3. So that's good. It's not completely, one-sided. It's just Dasher being a bit fast. We're on to Group B. This is a lot of familiar faces, a lot of people who did well last season.
I vote the Stegosaurus to win. I know it's not a voting system, but that's my vote.
So Motosaurus is a potentially busted car that people have found during Season 2.
Busted in what way?
It seems to be very quick off. Its boost power is just very, strong. So it boosts a little harder.
Struggling to break away from the pack there.
And as we can see, the Motosaurus is already in the lead just because he does have that extra oomph. Odor of Chaos in the center. This is basically just a secondary Jesco with the Jesco band. So it is a very fast car. And
it just looks so ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard to take the commentary job very seriously, but it's a little Stegosaurus. I can't deal. That's so good.
And RMD's returned in the car he raced in Season 2 with, the Power Rocket. Seems to be a big fan of that. And buttons is off. And here we have Dandu, the resident Bone Shaker fan of the community. After last season's performance, he has actually opted to not drive Bone Shaker. If he does well, though, then that proves everyone's hatred towards Bone Shaker is legitimate.
And by everyone, do you mean you?
No. It's quite a common thing. Bone Shaker is more hated than loved. Leon with a nice pass here.
That was absolutely smooth, wasn't it?
last season he was in RDO2, so he must be loving that second bar of booster right now, because RDO2 unfortunately only has the one.
Oh, having one would make it so tough. Like,
You've
you
gotta be
already
wiggling.
have to conserve them, but having one, oh...
You just have to wiggle more. You just have to wiggle at all opportunities to get that boost back up. So even though Dandoob's no longer in Bone Shaker, it looks like he's still using the 720p camera from the Bone Shaker. Fiddlestick
like
is
pixels?
flying. This is crazy. See, this Motosaurus is just so fast, and
but you can still...
you can still see him. He's not off the screen or anything.
No. Even third place currently has the option to take him over and round him up, so
Yeah.
it's definitely a race to watch.
Red Button Radical here finished third 4 times last season in a slower car than this one, so it's interesting to see him a little further back in the grid right now, but there's still another 2 laps, so anything can happen.
Yeah, that's it. You've always got to take the first one as a warm-up lap, I reckon.
And Dandoob has dropped to the back of the pack, as he does a lot, unfortunately.
Can you be nice to Dandu?
We try to be nice. He's grown on us.
Like a tumour, or...
That's awful.
Sorry.
We do love him. He also likes to antagonize people with bad ideas. Ooh, that's a bit of a risk there, is trying to do that cut coming off the top of the loop and trying to skip the down ramp.
It's very impressive.
It is faster, but we've seen so many people fail it.
Oh, I suppose in a high-stakes race, you've got to do what you can to
absolutely.
save every second.
With Group A and Group B races, because there's so many drivers, rather than first and second getting invites...
No, the Stegosaurus!
Well, yeah, rather than first and second getting invites, it's only first gets the invite for the finale.
Right.
So second doesn't cut it, and Leon is one of the bigger drivers from last season, one of the faster ones, so it's good to see him doing so well here. And he's definitely one of the favourites to take this first race, up there with RMD, who also just was amazing in his few races last season.
Oh, a bit of push and shove.
Fiddlestick's back up into third, even though he fell off before, so that's not too bad. He's not that far behind, and he does have the car to catch up.
It also looks like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like it would be a significant weight to the vehicle. Is that correct?
From what I hear, it steers really easily, actually. Yeah, I'm hearing very positive things about that car's performance. Its acceleration might leave a little to be desired, but that probably gets dwarfed by its insane boost speed. Ooh, Dandu almost screwing up that landing. That would have been quite unfortunate with people watching. Button's moved up to 4th, passing Ode, so he has a shot at getting into that top 3. He's very good at finishing.
Oh,
in
what
the
a
top
pass.
3. It was so clean. And RMD did have the lead for a little bit there, but Leon has passed him. These were probably the 2 drivers everyone watched the most, other than Dasher Dude last season. Mm-hmm. They were just regularly at the top of the pack when they did race.
Oh, it's so tight. Like one tiny little error and that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's made his way back within shouting distance. Unreal.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing is nice and quick. You just gotta not make the big errors, and the car should be able to do the rest for you. Ooh. You don't want to go too wide there. Like, some people do come off the jump going into that just a little bit too far to the left or the right, and have to try and bring the car back in midair.
All right, last lap. Everyone will be pushing to the limit, and I think if there was a time for a big spill, it'd be now, because everyone's taking the big risks. Still hanging out in 3rd.
Yeah, and those two actually seem to be pulling away at the moment.
They do.
Might just be a bit of the camera quality, but they do seem to be a bit far ahead.
And everyone's fighting tooth and nail.
Yeah. It really puts a lot more on the line when you have to come first. Like, when you can't settle for second, it starts to get a bit demoralising to be as far back as fourth place. There's a lot less in it.
That is one thing I liked about the PC League, how it was team points based. Because that way, you know, the difference between 5th and 6th, you were still fighting it out right
absolutely.
to the absolute death knock.
Yeah. These guys do still get points. They just get added to their career scores for when crossplay comes out, just for when captains are recruiting.
Yep. Oh no.
Button. But yeah, unfortunately, the league just isn't won by points for this league. It is get that finale invite and win on the finale.
Yeah. Oh.
Beautiful pass.
These two have been going neck and neck, hammer and tongs the entire time.
Oh, another beautiful pass. And we saw a lot of Solid Muscle last season going quickly. We haven't seen much out of Power Rocket as far as speed goes. So seeing that one actually like in the lead for a race is rare. Not so much for PlayStation League, but for most other leagues it's pretty hard to see. RMD just really pushes that car.
Well, what I like to see is just the nice, clean racing. You know, there's no one shoving anyone off the map or anything like that. Like, each pass is just... Clean. See what I mean? Absolutely clean.
Yeah.
You couldn't complain about it.
Those extra boost charges seem to be doing seem to be deciding the difference between these two drivers, because while this car caps out at 2, I'm pretty sure it's 2 on Solid Muscle, but Power Rocket holds 6.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it does get to boost a little more often if you can save it in the corners, but these guys are boosting it every opportunity though. Generally you don't need more than 2 because you're not going to use more than 2. And it looks like RMD has just pulled away. It's over. So they're going to take a pretty big mistake to take this win from him. And he's got it. Only by about a second and a half. And Over Chaos in 4th. Where's Button ended up? Because as I said, he got 3rd almost every race last season. So a 5th place just shows that, you know, everyone has improved, or either that or he's just not quite used to that new car.
It could just not be his day.
Yeah. And Dandoob in 6th. And...
Oh, what a finish. Beautiful.
And Darklight was a very late addition, recruited right at the end. So he jumped in like last minute and got into the race, which is good just to, you know, get in and be part of the league. He didn't really have any time to practice on the track or anything because he wasn't given much notice. But that is PlayStation League done for this fortnight.
Congratulations to our winners.
Yeah, RMD and Dasher Dude. We will be back tomorrow for the Acceleron League match, and then another week till the next Acceleron League.
We'll see you then.
See ya.